You're right, it's not. We totally did an introduction and the camera wasn't recording. Oops. Alright, babe.
What if I hadn't noticed? We would have just sat here and been like, oh.
Let's try this one more time. It's John and Georgina here. Hi.
She's John, I'm Georgina.
And we just got out of watching The Incredibles 2. So, what did you think of the movie?
Oh, I loved it. It was
Yeah,
just
I agree.
fantastic.
It was like really great. It was like one of the best sequels
Oh, yeah.
like you've seen, really.
I-
Especially for like having a 14-year gap in between the first Incredibles and this one. Like, you don't feel it.
No,
No. And,
no, I love that they picked up right where it left off.
Mhm.
And it's just seamless. It somehow looks exactly the same as the first
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
while also looking incredibly more modernly detailed.
the animation was really good. It looked like, because they had a little scene from like the first movie, which I don't know if they probably like redid it for this movie, but like it looked the same pretty much, but better.
It could have even been the original,
Yeah.
just to show the easy transition.
Mm-hmm.
But like all the voice acting, because like, you know, there's the first movie ends with the Underminer, and then someone picks up right where that left off, and it's still the same voice actor. He still sounds exactly the same. So it's like it wasn't a 14-year gap.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're just picking
Because
up.
all of the adult characters came back, obviously, to redo their voices.
Whoever voiced the new Dash does a spot-on Dash.
Yeah, the only one that was recast was Dash, but that's like obvious because the kid grew up.
Well, and unfortunately, the secret agent dude who was handling the Incredibles,
Oh.
because the original voice actor for him actually died not
okay.
long ago, so he was recast.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't
that's-
play a huge part in this
No,
movie.
and that's like an obvious, like you kind of have to recast in that scenario.
Yeah, but they wrapped him up very nicely.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But yeah, I honestly think a lot of people are going to see this and say, oh, it was good, but I still like the first one better. And trust me, all I can think is that's purely nostalgia talking.
Yeah.
That's purely because that was the first time you saw this.
Yeah.
And it's not fair. It's like when you see Jurassic Park 2. It's like, if you had seen that first before the first Jurassic Park, you might have liked it more, but you already have that initial wave of being introduced to the world first. So it's an unfair comparison. But if you actually sat both films next to each other, I think this one is better in every way.
Yeah.
Not to
discredit the first one because we all love the first one, but
it's a great introduction.
it was really good. And I love that we went to like the 9 p.m. showing on Thursday night, and like most of the people in the audience were adults, like
Yes.
like our age that like had grown up watching the first movie.
But, you know, everyone else was there 14 years ago, and
Yeah,
we were teens, or some of them maybe even kids.
yeah, definitely.
But that's what's great about it, is it's like a kids adult movie made for those who saw it originally.
Mm-hmm. Can't even tell the time difference. Like, you can't believe it's been 14 years. Because some movies that have that great of a span don't end up being or having as good as sequels as they should.
Well, the problem with some of those movies is when they're live action.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, 14 years have passed. You can't change that. You know, like, I love The Force Awakens, but the film had to take place, you know, 30-ish years after Return of the Jedi. Because it's been 30-ish years. So everyone's old. You can't pick up right where it left off. But so, this animated film, they were like, let's just do it. Who cares it's been 14 years? I mean, granted, Finding Dory also did that. No one said, well, the Finding Dory should take place 14 years later.
Yeah.
Granted, the fish would be dead, but...
In conclusion, we love the movie and we would definitely recommend it to anyone to go see.
We don't need a Fantastic Four movie.
No,
Just see
you
it.
don't.
I mean, people said that for the first Incredibles, but on a final note, the first Incredibles came out during an era that was way
superheroes
different from
weren't-
how it is now.
Yeah,
Superhero comic book movies were not
that big.
what it was today.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it would be scary releasing Incredibles
Mm-hmm.
because, especially with Disney,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Disney and Marvel, Disney owns, you know, Pixar and Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and yet in this world of, I mean, we just had Infinity War, which in itself does 10 years worth of heroes,
Mm-hmm.
and this, it doesn't feel like it's a part of that group. It feels like its own thing.
It is, because it's like the family dynamic is included into it.
Yes.
Which is what the other superhero movies don't have necessarily. They have like a different kind of family versus this is like an actual family.
Like, if you didn't even like superhero movies, you could probably still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just as much family dynamic involved. It's about being a superhero by stopping crime and also teaching your son math.
Yeah. And yeah, it's definitely fun for all ages. I feel like any age range of people would definitely enjoy this movie.
Yes.
Including kids that like don't have the nostalgia of the first movie.
This is a rare moment for Pixar where I didn't feel like there were jokes that were like subtly there for that adults would get. That's like, ooh, that's kind of an adult joke, but there's no way kids would get it. All the jokes made sense, and everyone should be able to understand it.
Yeah.
But they're still funny.
Yeah.
Although it's probably funnier to families and especially parents.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes that are probably going to have a mom or dad going like, yep,
Yeah.
it's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, that's true.
This film definitely captured like it was made by someone who is a parent.
Mm-hmm. Which I think many probably of the filmmakers made it our parents.
You probably.
Including Brad Bird.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you liked our little quick in-car review of Incredibles 2, and we'll see.
It was incredible.
It was incredible. That's like the one-word review of it. It was incredible.
I'm sure we're not the first to pen that.
No. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.